Well, welcome back, so to speak. When did you decide, after going through senior day and whatnot, when did your thinking alter a bit, and when did you start thinking about coming back?
Just simply after graduation, finishing one goal, and then having the opportunity to settle and really just focus on the next goal. Not leaving having any regrets. Really just continuing to understand that this culture that started back in 14, those guys, such as T. Gray, CC, we had a goal of changing the culture here. And I think this year's, this is the turning year that I want to be a part of that as one of the last Mohicans, to do it. So, speaking to those guys, they let me know it's a goal that we set from the beginning. We have to carry it out by any means. So, just making that happen.
Obviously, you mentioned the guys who graduated, from the linebacking core. You're going to fill a pretty key role. You're by far the most experienced player. What do you hope to bring to some of the younger guys?
Camaraderie. Just a sense of leadership, sense of urgency. We're very young, but we're very eager. With Mike McGinnis, Thomas Allen, Jr., Raekwon Jones, Mo Burnham. Plenty of guys that's going to contribute in as a guy that's going to play the bridge to help those guys to continue, linebacker, how we play linebacker here. It's important for me to, bring those guys along with urgency.
What were the conversations that you had with Coach Allen and Coach Inge and maybe Coach Womack when you were weighing whether to come back?
The first conversation was with Coach Allen. Always, we want to be on the same page. To speak to him, make sure, everything is everything. The goals are set and, we're ready to roll. The next conversation was Coach Womack, great guy, right off the top, I tell you guys, right off the top, I can see through a lot of things, so he was a good guy, and it was just, hey, let's get this thing done. It really wasn't much to talk about. He knew when he saw that number pop up what it was about. It's time to go.
You've been a really dependable player. You started the Foster Farms, and I remember, and you've always performed well. But now, you're the guy. Now you're kind of the leader of the room. How's it different from you in that sense?
As the guy, it's important. You're as strong as your weakest link. And as freshmen, as young guys, it's very important to understand that leading those guys is the main factor, and that's the most important thing. So as the leader of the group, it's my job to make sure that everyone is ready. And if it's not, then I'll take that.
Do you feel like you're going to learn that from T. Gray and CC and some of the other guys, maybe a little bit?
I think with leadership, with a sense of leadership, you learn that through your own group. They build that for you. I picked up from Marcus Oliver, T.J. Simmons, those guys. We all kind of came up together. But as a guy that's a significant difference with us, I think it's by the group.
Are you going to approach things differently this year, just on a day-to-day basis? How might that look different than it has in years past?
Approaching things different. Oh yeah, a whole lot of enthusiasm. You gotta have enthusiasm with this group. We're young, but we have a lot of energy. So it's enthusiasm and showing those guys that anything is easier with a little bit of enthusiasm. So definitely enthusiasm day in and day out. I'm yelling all day. Shouting stuff. They probably look at me as a wild man, but they'll see the finished product at the end.
How did you stay in shape to get back to the point where you're not so far behind to where you could get ready for fall camp?
Well, as you go through this, these workouts, it's you never really lose it. You don't really have the drive to just become a couch potato. So you really you work at it. Changed my diet. It was really a big thing, cutting out all beef, chicken and fish, and just rolling that way and, getting better, more energized, more everything. So it really, haven't missed a beat, really.
How about from a scheme standpoint, missing spring practice and all that stuff? How do you keep up to date with, new things they might install on the defense?
Ball is ball, baby. With Coach Womack, it's awesome that Coach Allen was able to add Coach Womack to the group. As his, him as Coach Allen and his father, combined on a defense back in the day. So him, talking to him and already understanding and knowing what to do, he just made it a little bit easier, really. So it's really become a more see-ball, hit-ball defense.
And Coach Allen let us know down at Huber Farms that you were coming back. When did you tell him? When was the decision finalized?
He received a call from me probably about, I'll say, a week after graduation.
Okay.
I graduated May 5th, so he received a call like a week after that. And he knew, he knew. He knew.
Was there a point when you felt like physically you could do it before that point and earlier in the spring?
I always knew in the back of my mind, so I just knew I had to get finalize some things first. I wanted to first get my degree, which is very, number one, important thing for me. And just, after that, no regrets,
People looking at the defense this year on paper, I mean, a lot of very talented dudes graduated, but there's a lot of speed and talent in this group. Do you think it's as talented a group as you've been around?
As talented as any group. Mm-hmm. I think as time will tell, and energy, effort, the youth is there as always. Mm-hmm. So I'm very optimistic, about it.
Have you noticed any difference with the new speed and conditioning work and that kind of stuff?
Oh man, those guys are awesome. They're awesome. Coach Ballou, his staff, Coach Rhea, these guys are legit, and I love it because it's hard work, but it's good work. And when you understand what I say about good work, you're working every muscle. Working those muscles that's going to be able to have you ready for FIU.
Have you seen some difference in your own numbers since you got back a little bit?
Well, I just found out Coach Rhea ran 20 miles per hour. So, so you start to see some differences, quickly. So if you trust in these guys, and I think that's the biggest thing for us is trusting each other and understand that we all have our best interests in mind. We are a roll.
What playing weight do you want to come in at for next fall? What do you want to play at?
225, 230. I've never been a big bruiser guy. I feel better at much faster, much quicker at 225 to 230. I think my frame only holds that. So I want to be able to be as fast as possible for my guys.
Hey, thanks.